Hi everyone and welcome to a new video on the CBI channel. In this Django for Beginners tutorial series, we're creating a blog-style web application using Python Django. And that looks something like this, where users are able to create, edit and delete different types of blog posts. Now, this is not the first video in the series. In fact, we've already done 15 before. And after those videos, our application now looks like this, where we already have a homepage with all of the different articles, including images, and we have the possibility to create blog posts, but also to edit them and also delete them. And that brings us to a point where we want to enable login and authentication functionality. And in this video, we're going to be focusing on the first step of that, which is making sure that users can sign up to our blog post. Now, in this video, we'll follow 5 steps. First, in our code, we're going to be creating a new app called users. And that app is going to contain all of the code related to the users. Then we will register that app in our overall project and also make some changes to the settings and urls.py file. And once that is settled, we can get started with the sign up functionality. To do that, we create a template, a view, and a URL specifically for signing up. And we enable logic for creating a new user after the user has populated the details inside of the form. As a last step, we're going to check if all works okay and if we can actually sign up and create a user in our database by providing the info to the form. So let's now get started. And the first step is creating a new app inside of our project specifically for users. Because currently you notice that we already have this project where we have a folder or an app for blog, which is the main project. And then we have a separate app called posts. And in there, we handle everything related to the posts. Now, for signing up and logging in and doing all different kinds of password resets, we want to split that code into a separate piece, just so it's clear that that is where the user logic lives. And to do that, we will be creating a new app inside of our project, which is going to segregate the user functionality. So we're going to go and close this terminal off and create a new terminal. And as always, we first start the virtual environment by doing venv slash scripts slash activate. And then we can create a new app called users by doing python manage.py and then start app users. And now you notice that we have a new folder called users in here, which is quite similar to what we had for the posts. Now, the first thing what we want to do is make sure that this users app is added to our overall project. And we do that by going to the settings.py file. And similarly to the posts, we need to add the users to the installed apps. So in here, we mention that the app of users also needs to be included into the installed apps, which will connect the two together. Now, the next thing that we want to do is create a urls.py file inside of the users folder, because currently there is none. So I'm going to click on the folder of users and then click on new file and do urls.py. And to make it easy for myself, I'm going to be copying over the complete code of the urls.py file in the blog folder and put it in here. And then we're just going to get rid of the if statement because we don't really need it. All that we want is have a URL patterns thing in here without any content at the moment. And let's also get rid of the text on the top. And we can also even get rid of the import of admin and the import of static and the settings. And let's save that. Now, similarly to the posts, we also need to include the URLs of users inside of the main urls.py file of the blog folder. Because if we go there, you notice that we have included all of the URLs from posts, but now we also want to do the same thing, but then for users. So we'll copy this over and we say include and then users.urls, which will just take everything that is in this file. And just like that, everything should be connected. Next step is creating a view URL and a template for the new page for signing up. And we're going to get started here with the template. Although currently in our users folder, we don't have a template yet. So also there we'll follow the same what we did with posts, is we're going to be creating a folder called templates, and then again a folder with the same name as the overall folder, so posts. And in there we can create the different HTML pages. So back to the users folder right here, and we'll create a new folder called templates. And then in the templates, we create a new folder called users. So now in templates, we have a folder called users. So we're going to click on users specifically and then add a new file called signup.html. And just like that, we have that ready. Now, of course, in this HTML page, we also want to put some content. And I'm just going to copy over the content that we have for the create page. So I'm going to copy over everything that is in here and put that also in the signup.html file. Now we still want to extend the posts.base.html because that provides the access to our navigation menu and all of the things we prepared in the earlier videos. So I will just keep everything in here, but I'm going to get rid of the form part. And for now, in the title, I'm just going to say here, sign up to our blog. So we know that this is the sign up page. All right, so we now have this signup.html one, but we can now also create a view in here. So on the top of this screen, the first thing that we want to do is a few imports. So next to the import of render, we're also going to import redirect because we will be needing that later. And then we say that we want to have a function or def, and we're going to be calling that sign up. And we put in request. And for now, we're just going to return something. So we actually do return render, and then we return the request. And the page that we want to return is users/signup, because that's also what the path is of this file right here. Now, one thing that we don't have yet is the context. So in here, we also set context equal to, and then just empty. And as a last step here, we're going to include the context. And let's now save this. So we have the template and the view, but the last thing we need is now a link. So we're going to go to the urls.py file and create a new link for the view and the template we've just created. So in here, we specify path, and this path is going to be users/sign up. And the next thing that we need to specify is the view where we can find this. And that means that we need to import the views. So we do from users import views as views, which is just going to take everything from users and put it in here. And then after the actual web address, we can say that this is the views.signup. And the last thing that we need to do is give this a name. And the name is also going to be equal to signup. And let's save this. So now we should have a HTML template that is being shown if we start our server and we go to /users/signup. So let's see if that is the case. So we do python manage.py and then run server. And now we are on the home page of our application. And let's see what happens if we go to /users/signup. And if we go there, we actually see that we get sign up to our blog. So everything seems to be connected fine. So the next thing that we want to do is make sure that we have a form on this sign up page that allows users to put in all of the required details to create an account inside of our application. Now, in terms of database, we don't really need to do anything to store our users, because if we go to the database that we have in our project inside of DB browser, you notice that Django has already created a table called auth_user by default. So anytime you create a Django application, it automatically already creates the table that stores all of the user information. And we've even already created a user in one of the previous videos to access the admin portal. So you might think, okay, Django has already created this database table, with all of the columns that we need to create a user. So we probably need to make our own form to make it work and create users. Well, actually, you would be wrong because inside of the Django documentation, you can see that Django has an out-of-the-box user creation form. And this user creation form automatically provides all of the fields that are required for a user to sign up. And it also already takes care of some basic validation for example, passwords. So that's what we will be using to create the form for the sign up. Now to implement that inside of our project, we're going to go back to our views.py file and make sure that we mention the form in the view so that we can bring it to our template. So let's first import that form. So we can do from django.contrib.auth.forms. And in there, we can import the user creation form, which is the name of the default form. Then what we do in signup is we state that form is equal to the user creation form. And then we also need to provide it to our context to bring it to the actual template. So we say that form is equal to form. Now we can make sure that the form is also being rendered on our signup page. So to do that, below the h1 tag, we first state that we have a form with some form tags, and then we first do some curly brackets, some percentage signs to define the CSRF token. And then below it, we can state that we want to have the form, and then with the bar with crispy, because that is what we use to style our forms also from the other videos. And as a last step, we can have the button to submit it. And in here, we can provide a class name to automatically style this button. And we can say button. And then after that, button primary. And we set the type equal to submit, because this is going to be a submit button. And the text of the button is sign up. Now, the last thing we also need to do is add a method to our form. And that method is going to be equal to post. Because in a while, we want to make sure that we can actually post the details of this form. And let's now save this. So now when we go back to our sign up page and we refresh this, you notice that we have a nice looking form on our screen. Now, of course, the title is a little bit in the wrong place, but let's just ignore that for now. The things that you can already see on the top is that Django wants us to provide a username, which is a required field with 150 characters or fewer. And we can only use letters, digits, and these kind of symbols. And it also wants us to provide a password with a few rules. It can be too similar to other personal information, which is the username. It must contain at least 8 characters. It can be a common password, and also it can be entirely numeric. And also it has a confirmation field to make sure that you really know your password. Now, this is why Django is great for these kind of out-of-the-box functionality, because we didn't need to do anything, and it generates this with a lot of functionality with just a few lines of code, including a lot of different validation steps, which can really help you when you're building your application. So now let's make sure that this title is not being messed up in the content. And the reason for that is that I put this form inside of the top bar with this div. So if we move this div to actually below the title, and then we can put the form back on the same level like this and save this. And now it actually looks much better. And this is the way that we want to have this page. Now, of course, we can input some information and click on sign up, but we don't have anything in our view that will create the user. So let's do that right now. So we are back inside of our views.py file. And in the sign up, we need to add some logic for what happens if the user clicks the button. So similarly to the other things that we have done, we do if request.method is equal to post. which is the sign that the user has clicked the button. We are going to define our form again, which is going to be the user creation form. And then we say request the post because we are making a post request. And in there, all we need to do is evaluate if our form is valid. So we do form.is underscore valid. And if that is the case, then we do form.save. And that should create the user. Now, of course, if users have successfully created an account, we want them to go to the login page. However, we've not created that one just yet. So for now, we're going to do return redirect and do that to the home page. But in the videos to come, we will make sure that it actually redirects to the login page so that the user can log in and then see all of the posts. So let's now save this and see what happens if we create a new user. And just as an overview, currently we only have one user in here called user1. So now we'll be creating a second user. So back in the sign up page, and we're going to say that user2 now wants to sign up. And the password has been made to testing321 2 times. And let's now click sign up. And we are indeed now redirected to the home page. And if I check my database and refresh this, you notice that we now have a user2 in here. So that seems to be working just fine. Now you already see a few differences with the user that we've created from the command line. The first thing is that this is not a super user, because in the command line we've created a super user which can go to the admin portal, but this user does not have those same authorizations. Also, we currently don't have a last name, a first name, or an email address, but we are going to be creating a nice profile page where the user can populate that kind of information. This is actually all for this video. In this video, I showed you how you can easily sign up to a blog application using Python Django. In the next video, we're going to continue and I'm going to show you how we can log in. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.